So the bike does have its quirks, and the first one is the wing mirrors. The wing mirrors are okay. Whilst wearing my normal riding gear, this single layer jacket that I'm wearing, I can see about probably half visibility out the back, so about half visibility. But what I've noticed is while I've been commuting to the office and back in various weather conditions, wearing my Oxford rain overcoat to keep myself extra dry, whilst I wear that jacket, which is a bit more voluminous, a bit more kind of bulky, I can see literally a quarter out of those wing mirrors. I have to move my head to see what's in the wing mirrors. So if you are going to be using this bike on commutes, and or you're going to be using it in the busy city centres and doing a lot of that kind of work, then perhaps some, unupgraded mirrors, maybe some bar-end mirrors might be a better option for you. Because yeah, the mirrors are okay. They're not the best mirrors by any means. The self-cancelling indicators, they do self-cancel most of the time, but just sometimes they don't. So you've got to kind of keep your eye out for the self-cancelling indicators. It is quite cool when it works. It's like a little win as you're riding. But yeah, just keep your eye on it and make sure you cancel it. Another thing I've noticed whilst commuting is I've been wearing a backpack on my back, carrying various electronics and other office stuff. And what I've noticed whilst wearing the backpack and having the rear seat cowl, the pillion seat cover on, the backpack tends to sit on it, kind of raise up a little bit sometimes. I do notice it's there, and so it might be worth either taking that off or having a smaller backpack perhaps. It is quite a large rucksack I wear, which carries a laptop and other bits and bobs in. But yeah, when I'm sat there, sometimes I'll feel it kind of pressing or sitting on top of the rear seat cowl. I guess that's going to be probably quite applicable to any seat cowl on any bike really, if you're wearing a big backpack, but it's just something I've noticed. Another thing I've noticed is my right heel. The big newly styled slash cut exhaust on the right side here, it does have kind of a metal heat shield going under the foot peg as it sweeps up the rest of the bodywork, and my right heel just seems to want to rest on that section of metal on the exhaust. Now I'm not sure if it's designed to be like that. It is quite comfortable, I must admit, but my first thought was, oh, am I scratching the metal? Am I just discoloring and making imperfections in that metal there? I just noticed it's there. I can't get away from it. When I'm riding, I usually put the tippy toes, the balls of my feet on the peg, and so my heels kind of stick out a little bit, just the way I ride. Some people will have their feet slightly more forward in the peg, but for me I usually put the balls of my feet on the peg and my right heel is just resting on the exhaust. It's just one of those quirks. I'm like, okay, well that's fine. It does make it quite comfortable at times. Another thing I've noticed over the past week of riding is how dirty this bike gets. Now I have been riding in the rain, fair enough, but this bike gets so dirty. It's not really a fault of the bike in any way. It's not the bike's fault, but my goodness, it does get very dirty, and I'll just pull over in a second and show you. It gets so dirty. I mean, it's all side, my back and my commuting gear is covered in mud. And I think maybe perhaps this thing isn't really, doing the best job it can do. So it's not a design fault, it's not a problem with the bike, it's just an observation. It does get a bit dirty, so just bear that in mind. If they do a higher license plate, number plate holder hanger, perhaps that might be a better fit to keep the mud off. But yes, as you can see, it's kind of washed up the back of the bike, and it kind of washed up the back of my rucksack and all my waterproofs. But yeah, just something I've noticed. In terms of weather protection as a whole, there isn't a lot. It is a naked bike, you're going to get hit by the wind. Tucking under, getting down low and using this kind of little screeny thing here, this little screen protector, it does have its use when you're going a little bit faster, 70, 80 miles an hour. Ooh, bikers. You can tuck under that little screen a little bit, and it does do a decent enough job. That is a wonderful sound. Just going to do a little cheeky U-turn here. Just something to point out there is the turning radius on the CB. As you just saw then in that quick moment, there's a load of turning circle on the CB. It's really, you know, quite a nifty bike to get in and out of things. So if you're going to be using this bike in traffic, congested areas, or park it up in somewhere, you know, tight, there's lots of turning circle to play with, which is really good.